In this video, we'll be taking a look at how much frame rate affects your gameplay when doing edits, as well as certain building techniques such as 90s and ramp rushes. Yo, what is up guys? It's Geerzy here, and today we're going to be comparing 30 FPS versus 240 FPS. We'll be seeing how hard it is to do techniques on lower FPS and if it even makes a difference, as well as compare them side by side for a better understanding. Anyways, without any further ado, let's begin. The first technique we're going to be comparing is 90s. For this comparison, we're just going to be using 3-story normal 90s. In 240 FPS, these 90s are quite easy to complete with my builds placing where and when I want them to. In 30 FPS, everything was sluggish, and once I started moving super quickly, everything was super slow, so I just depended on muscle memory to build the 90s for me. It also felt like there was a bit of a delay between when I tried to place my builds and when it actually popped up in game. And especially since I was on a 144Hz monitor, this felt very weird. Make sure that you're watching the video in 60 FPS so you can see the difference. The next thing we're going to be comparing is ramp rushes. The ramp rush we're going to be using for this comparison is quite easy to do once you have the technique down and is called the 3-layer ramp rush. On 240 FPS, this ramp rush is very easy to do and is also quite satisfying to do. In 30 FPS, this ramp rush feels a lot slower and also has a very tiny building delay, which is noticeable. When doing the ramp rushes, there really wasn't too much of a difference besides the short little building delay that I experienced on 30 FPS and the overall smoothness of the building. Comparison number 3 is going to be editing. For this comparison, we're just going to be editing down a couple layers of ramps and floors. On 240 FPS, editing down is very smooth and is also quite easy because of the recent editing patch. Editing on 30 FPS is very hard. The problem is you can't flick, so you have to edit very slow and carefully. This is a huge problem for intense combat situations and is probably one of the biggest disadvantages for having low FPS. This is as fast as I could possibly go on 30 FPS without making mistakes. In conclusion, there isn't too much of a difference between building on low and high FPS, but editing is a whole different story. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed or found it interesting in any way, feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. Anyways, with all of that said, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.